This is Access Houston on 97.9 The Fox.
Good Sunday morning. You're listening to Access Houston. I'm your host, KG Smooth. Welcome in the studio, representing Blacklist Association and Melanated Men of Action, my man, Mr. Curtis Wallace, better known as Atum Ra. How's it going, my man?
Peace, man. Glad to be out here, man. Thanks for having me on, man.
Man, thanks for coming on. I mean, I sought out Atum Ra at the Black and Natural Pageant Scholarship Gala, which I had hosted some weeks ago, and they were one of the and you guys were one of the many honorees that were honored that night, and I wanted to know more about Blacklist Association and Melanated Men of Action. So welcome. Thank you for coming on.
Yes.
So to that point, what is Blacklist Association?
Well, the Blacklist Association is a collective for community and cooperative economics. And essentially what we've been able to do, it's a fairly new organization that we've been able to hit the ground running through our bum rush initiatives. Mm-hmm. And essentially what a bum rush is where we go out and promote health, wellness, and culture. And so we vet different Black businesses out in the community that have great service and that are also giving back to the community. And so we put together initiatives for the community to come out and support this business and also know about them. So we may pick a certain time and a certain day and say, hey, come out here. And what you find out a lot of times is a lot of people don't even know about these businesses. And the reason that we vet the businesses is because one of the main problems with when we talk about cooperative economics in the Black community is the negative stigmas that we have about Black business.
Yes.
They don't have good service. Right. They have bad price. They have high prices. And so we essentially bring the people out to visually see that we do have businesses out here that have great products, that have great service, and have affordable prices. Yeah. And so Blacklist is our, like I said, it's our collective where we focus on cooperative economics in the Black community. With Melanated Men of Action, that's more of our social group. Mm-hmm. And our mission is to help strengthen our community structure through economic practices and social order and political solutions. And with Melanated Men of Action, we have put together our monthly cleanups where we select a specific community out in Houston and we go out and we just get out there and we put in work, we clean it up, we build with the community about the importance of keeping safe streets, not just for the aesthetics and the property value, but for how it looks to the kids. Right. You know, the reason that our streets are flooding is because we have all these different things in the ditches. But, you know, it's really about getting people to realize the value in community and the value in property. And so we've had cleanups and we've also had youth lock-ins. And one thing I did forget to mention with Blacklist, another part of the economics is also the educational part, because you have to get people to understand what cooperative economics is and why it's important before they will participate in it. And so this past week, 2 weeks ago, at the Shrine of the Black Madonna, we put together a youth economic initiative day to where we invited the youth out and they got schooled in economics, and we work with them on building a business plan.
Wow.
And we essentially separated them into 3 different groups. We had one group that was the bosses, one group that was the money team, and then one group that was the promotional team. And so they all had to individually work on their parts to the business, but then also in the end bring it together like you have to do in a lot of and compromise to reach a plan.
Man, that is so dope. You listen to Access Houston. We're talking to Atum Ra from Blacklist Association and Melanated Men of Action. He was going over the programs that they have over there. That is so dope and really on time that you all are teaching cooperative economics and financial literacy, because April is Financial Literacy Month. So starting them young and how, knowing how business works and how to handle your money is so important, because growing up, at least for me, like I didn't know or understand the importance of credit. Until, I got grown. And then when I got in college and, see the little table with the stuffed animals and t-shirts. Like, hey, you sign up for this, we'll give you a t-shirt. Okay. Next thing I know, about 7 days later, I got a $500 credit card in the mail, and I'm spending and not knowing that this is going to mess up my life if I don't handle it correctly. So this is so huge, because I'm all about for us, by us.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I use this platform to make sure that we are more self-aware.
Respect.
So I love that. And I tell people, like, I live by when I say that I'm for us, because I bank black, my doctor's black, my mechanic's black, I shop black. You know what I'm saying? There's a couple of black businesses that, well, more than a couple. There's quite a few that I frequent.
Yes.
And I believe in keeping that dollar in our community.
Absolutely. Well, that's how you actually build an infrastructure. You know, when you look at all the other communities, you know, it's not just the fact of that they spend money with each other in itself, but when you look at how the dollar circulates, like you said, you give this dollar to this one person, you give this dollar to that other person. So the money essentially stays within the community. And that's our main problem now with when you look at the different communities, how the dollar flips over 5 times, 10 times, sometimes 20
before
times.
It leaves.
Right. You know, ours is normally gone within 6 to 8 hours. So that means that by the end of the working day, the money is already gone in the community, and those people taking money aren't investing it back. And so that's the other reason why with Blacklist, we also don't just scream support black businesses. We also hold businesses accountable, because they have a bigger duty to the community than just the individuals to make sure that they display the characteristics that we want our people to support. And so just because you're black, but if you don't have good service, if you're not treating people right, if you're trying to rip off customers and cut them off, we're not going to support you. And we're going to make sure that we're adamant about that, because we believe, like I said, accountability is huge.
Listening to Access Houston, we're talking to Atum Ra from Blacklist Association and Melanated Men of Action. Talk about how people can get active in their own community, like to start the mobilization. You know, we're still in that era of, you know, the whole pro-black movement, the whole unapologetically, you know, black, and there's some good things that's happening within that movement.
Absolutely. Well, it's a wonderful time to be alive. You know,
it is. What a time to be alive.
You know, when you understand about, you know, the age of Aquarius and how the social consciousness of the people are shifting, that you have to move with the people.
Yep.
And so, you know, right now I always tell all my peers my age, it's no coincidence that we're alive in this time with everything else going on, and we're at the right age to be able to build with our elders to get the wisdom, but then also be able to relay it back to the youth. You know, we're that transitional group now that's at that age. And so it's really our duty to step up and take initiative. And the beautiful thing about what's going on in Houston is it's a lot of organizations that have put aside their egos and are starting to work together. You know, a lot of, like I said, a lot of people know us from Blacklist and Melanated Men of Action, but we have Houston Unity Tribe, we have the National Black United Front, we have the local organizing committee, BLM Houston, and so it's so many different organizations out there, and that's what's starting to happen now. We're actually starting to put our organizations and our events and things like that together so that we can build even more. Because sometimes you kind of see friction between social organizations, and a lot of that is ego. And so a lot of us in these organizations have to put our egos to the side to, you know, help the community and the people. And so, you know, if you really just open your eyes, you know, I know everybody's on the internet and Facebook or whatever. You probably have friends in some of these different organizations. You probably have skipped past some of the different events or things like that to be shared, because the way that we feel is, even though we have our initiatives going on, it's okay if you don't come out and support us because you got to work, or, you know, you don't like what I wear or whatever the case may be. There's a lot of other organizations out there that are doing work in different areas of health and economics and things like that you can be a part of. So it's really no excuse for people to just be sitting on the sideline now and letting our people perish.
Mm-hmm. So get down or lay down.
Yes, sir.
You
Yes,
know
sir.
what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
If you ain't about that life, don't front like you are, because it's serious right now.
Right.
It is serious.
You know, yeah, and we've been having a lot of fun. Also, another thing that we have going on is our media campaign through Melanated and Illuminated. You can go see that at melanatedandilluminated.com.
Okay.
That is essentially where we are. We're telling our own story, our own way, because we believe in the practice of Kujichagulia, which is to define ourselves, speak for ourselves, and name for ourselves.
Yeah.
And so we're using our media talents through podcasts, through video, through songs, through music, in order to get that message to the people, because you gotta show.
Right. We gotta speak their language.
Right,
you know what I mean? So
right.
you got to get down to their level so they can get the message.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. And each month y'all have the Bum Rush.
Yes.
I mean, tell us about this.
Yes. Okay.
Blacklist
So we have Bum Rushes every month. Our next Bum Rush is actually going to be at New Waters Co-op on the corner of Elgin and Dowling. That's a cooperative in Houston. We have our own local grocer that they grow their own food, all organic, no pesticide.
Nice.
Miss Carmen is awesome. Corner of Elgin and Dowling, right next to the El Dorado Ballroom, right across from the new Emancipation Park they building.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be out there on May the 20th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And like I said, we do the Bum Rushes every month, and we also do the cleanups the last Saturday every month. So if you want to know about either or, what you can do is for Blacklist, we have a website, blacklisthouston.org. Or if you're on Facebook, you can search the Blacklist Association. For Melanated Men of Action, you can reach out to melanatedmenofaction.com. Or you can also reach out to me. I'm on Facebook. My name is Atum Ra. That's ATUMRA. You can call me at 713-320-1803. Any way that you can reach out to us, we're there, and we're ready to build.
No doubt, and we want to build with you, man.
Yeah.
Atum Ra from Blacklist Association and Melanated Men of Action, brother. I thank you for coming through and letting the city know about this great organization and what you all are doing in Houston, bro. Yeah. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for
having
us on.
And I'm down for and with the cause.
Thank you.
Good Sunday morning. You're listening to Access Houston. I'm your host, KG Smooth, welcoming a first-timer to the program. She's the president of the Women's Business Enterprise Alliance. Please welcome the lovely April Day. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm so wonderful to be here with you.
Oh, well, it is an honor and a privilege to be with you. I love women, people who are making a difference in our community to make us more self-aware and educated and all of that.
Yes.
So
we have to pass our blessings on. We have to pass the blessings on.
We have to. Each one teach one.
Yes. Absolutely.
So you've got the WBEA Expo.
Yes.
That is coming up. But before we get into the expo, tell the people what exactly Women's Business Enterprise Alliance is and what you all do.
Okay. Well, Women's Business Enterprise Alliance is a third-party certification agency. And that's a mouthful, right? So I like to say that we are a women's business development agency, if you will. And so our main purpose is, one, to increase opportunities for women in our territory. And we cover 94 counties in Houston, Texas, or actually in Texas, Houston, one of them. So we span, if you think about large areas, Houston, San Antonio, and Galveston, so all lower Texas. And the premise is to increase opportunities. So where are those opportunities being increased through the certification is corporate procurement. So that's where the certification comes in. So what we do is we provide the Women's Business Enterprise certification, which essentially is saying that you are either 51% owned and controlled by a woman or 51% owned and controlled by a group of women. And that's powerful because what that means is it opens the door for you to get corporate contracts. And right now in our network, which is small, right? It's about $15 billion of revenue that our certified women businesses represent in this area.
Did you say billion?
15 billion. And we can go higher because women businesses are the highest growing market right now, right?
Yeah.
And so we exist to not only certify, but we want to support, launch, and grow them.
Wow, that is amazing. You're listening to Access Houston, talking to April Day, the president of WBEA. The expo is happening. So what are some ways to leverage your business, April?
So the first way for sure is your certification. And the second way is the relationships. And why that certification and the relationships are important is once you get certified, you don't want your certification to just sit on the shelf. Mm-hmm. You want to be out there telling the world that you are 51% owned and control. And some people think of it and they say, well, I feel like that might hold me back. But here's something that's great about doing business with women. The women businesses in this marketplace, and it doesn't matter what industry, they are highly innovative. And we know right now innovation is driving the market. They're also adaptive. And what's happening right now with oil and gas, you've got to adapt to change. You've got to adapt quickly. And the women businesses are inept at doing more with less. And so when you're looking at those small business entities that you want to do business with, the women business enterprises are the way to go, right? Yeah. So the other piece is the relationships. It takes relationships with people, do business with people they know. And we are a large network. Houston is just one area, but we cover the United States. It's over 14,000 women nationally. So these are people who have either been where you want to be or are at the place where you are and want to go. And so there's an opportunity to leverage relationships.
Wow. So hence the alliance. So ladies, are you young women out there who may be listening, ladies that are listening that want to become an entrepreneur and own your own business? This is definitely the group to be part of, without a doubt. Let's talk about the expo. The expo is happening on May 31st through June the 1st.
Yes.
And where's it going to be taking place? Oh,
so it's okay. We're touring Houston, right?
Okay.
So the actual
as you need to,
right? It's so
you
big,
gotta tour Houston.
And we literally. So I want to talk. Let me just say something really quick about why events like Expo is important. So Expo provides you opportunities to connect and get known. We just completed Super Bowl, right? So Super Bowl had about $4 million of spend. That means the money that they wanted to spend with the small business community. Well, 44% of that was our WBEs.
Shut up.
Yes.
Seriously?
I'm absolutely serious. Numbers just came out. I was so excited. We were very influential in making sure that women were put in the game by contracts or by that spend. So that's what our expo is. It's that one place where you can connect with a multitude of corporate, government, and federal entities and other businesses that you can do business with. Wow. So how do you do it? Because it's 2 days, and how do you fit it all in?
Sure.
The very first day, which is the May 31st, we have some events going on that are tied to the education piece. So at the WBA office, through our Women's Business Center, which provides free training and workshops for women businesses, we're doing an export and import symposium with the Export-Import Bank. So we're not only going to talk to you about how to do exporting, importing, we're going to actually talk to you about how to fund it. We'll bring in SBA, we bring in the Department of Commerce, because again, we're launch, growing, and scaling small businesses. So that happens the morning of the 31st. Then we have a powerful group that's networking. We call it the Forum. So we'll have a luncheon back down at the George R. Brown. And then we have a business boot camp. So it's a boot camp that evening from 3 to 5 that will help you move your business to the profitability level. So let's say you're 4 million and you want to go to 10. We've got a boot camp that's going to outline the steps for you to make that happen. Then we end that night with a reception at Sambuca. That's all happening on the 31st.
Wow.
So you don't want to miss anything, right? Get some sleep. Come back early in the morning the next day at the George R. Brown when we open up the trade show floor where you can either exhibit to showcase your products or connect with other business owners, government entities, and corporate entities. a luncheon that we'll do, and then we also have the one-on-one matchmaking, and that's where you can actually have an appointment with the businesses that you want to connect with and get to know.
Wow. So this is basically a one-stop shop for women businesses to come, expand, network, get all of the information, and this is amazing.
It's like church. I always say, I said, you got to show up and show out.
Yeah. So what must one do to become a part of the expo?
So to become a part of the expo is very simple. You just go to our website, which is www.WBEA-Texas.org, and you can register for an all-inclusive ticket or the individual events that you want to participate in.
Yeah. So are there going to be any guests that people may be familiar with in the business community?
So if you, in terms of companies,
anything.
So of course, all the major oil and gas companies. Houston First is one of our major sponsors of the event. So they're really big on making sure that they get small businesses on the map in terms of contract spends and opportunity. ExxonMobil, Shell. I already mentioned Export-Import Bank, SBA. ConocoPhillips. So those are some of the big names that people know.
Yeah, you got some big names.
Some of the ones that you may not know are some of the primes, and those are individuals that are maybe doing business with a Shell or a ConocoPhillips or a BP, but they also want to capitalize and work with our small business community and working with women. So now it's not just about, well, can I meet a Shell and do business with Shell, but can I meet the businesses that are also doing business with Shell so I can do business with them and kind of get in the door through some performance management, learn what it takes to do business with Shell by working with someone else before you get there. It's a pipeline.
It is a pipeline. And you have laid out this blueprint. It's so easy to read.
Thank you.
So just show up. Show up and show out, as you said, since April likes to think of it
show up
as
and
church.
show out.
We're speaking to April Day, who's the president of Women's Business Enterprise Alliances. They are getting ready for the 2017 Annual Business Expo and Matchmaking event that is happening on May 31st. What day is that?
It's May 31st is Wednesday, and then
so
June 1st is Thursday. So you jumpstart your weekend by investing in yourself.
Yes, that's right.
Now, some people may be thinking that this is something that only women can go to. Now, while we cater to our women business owners and entrepreneurs, men are also welcome to participate in the event as well. We also have our Women's Business Center, and so that's a program that's supported by the SBA and the WBEA. We kind of wrote a grant to fund this program, which offers free one-on-one business consultations to help you grow your business. How do you fund your business? So we will be making those connections right there on site. And so if you're interested in growing your business or even launching the business, you don't even know what you need to do, you just want to sit down with someone, you can actually go on the trade show floor and have a one-on-one with a consultant to make that happen as well.
Wow. One-stop shop, all the information that you need. What is your hope for when people leave the expo that they walk away from?
My hope is that you've, developed a tangible relationship. And so what I mean by a tangible relationship, it's not a relationship where I've met this person, I've given them my card, and then I'm going to follow up with them in an email, or I'm going to drive them crazy and send a couple of e-blasts. My hope is that we create tangible connections for people. And so there's a method to the madness, right? So what I like to tell people is don't go in there and try to do this whole card game where you're collecting all these cards and you're doing the shuffle. Think about who's going to be at this expo that you potentially want to meet. And we've published who all of the exhibitors are. We've published who all the sponsors are. So pick your top 5, if you will, and say, these are the companies that I want to connect with, do business with, or learn from. And then go to their websites and research them. Become like Wonder Woman or Sherlock Holmes and think about 3 things. How can I connect? How can I help, and how can I refer, right? So in other words, you're taking it from the sense of I'm going to this meeting so that I can get something out of it. But first you're going into the meeting thinking, how can I help this company? And how can this company help another company that I might know? So now we're really working collectively. So when I say tangible, I mean something really, some sheer grit when it comes to managing your business relationships. So that's the first thing, is a tangible connection. The second thing that we want to see come out of this is this strengthened affinity. We want women to work together. We are stronger together. And as a small business, we are the engine to the economy. So I want to see this strong or strengthened affinity that comes out of this event. And then thirdly, we want to see some contracts happen. So those WBEs or small businesses that are contract ready, we want to usher you in by creating the opportunity through these matchmaking, and then follow up with you to see if anything happened. And if something didn't happen, how do we make it happen? What's missing?
All the answers are happening May 31st and June 1st at George R. Brown for the Women's Business Enterprise Alliance WBEA Business Expo and Matchmaking. This is incredible. Where can people get more information?
Again, go to our website, www.wbea-texas.org. This is a passion for us, right?
Yeah, and I believe that it is going to be successful. So log on to the site, WBEA-Texas, spelled out, .org, WBEA-Texas.org. The president of WBEA, April Day. Thank you for coming through and sharing this information.
You're welcome. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you.
No, thank you. And thank you for listening to Access Houston.
We'll be back with more Access Houston on 97.9 The Box.